2014 Mustang GT Performance Pack.
Performance Pack. What does Performance Pack mean?
It means Brembo brakes.
Brembo brakes.
Better shocks, better struts, a lot of oil cooling.
And that is good?
It's very good.
Oh, okay.
And a Torsen limited slip differential out of the Boss 302 with 373 gears.
So this is a poor man's Boss 302?
Absolutely.
Well, nice. So 2014 Mustang GT.
S197 chassis. The last year of the S197 chassis.
Last year the S197, and then because 2015 they start the new one, and that's the
S550.
Okay, so this is the S197. Before that was the
S95. Actually, it was the New Edge, which was the last year of the S95.
New Edge. Oh, I love the styling.
I had two of those. It was interesting.
So this is they came out, when did the S197 come out?
2005.
2005. Okay, and then there was a big, when was the big refresh? 2009?
2011. Well, 2010 was the body style refresh. 2011 was the Coyote engine.
Okay.
The 3.7 V6, the powertrain update.
So we're on year 3 of the Coyote engine in this bad boy.
Correct, yes.
Okay, and it sounds great.
It sounds awesome.
Yeah, sounds good. Okay, exterior impressions.
Exterior impressions, I like it. I think it's a good style for the generation that it's in.
Okay.
Keep in mind, this chassis is competing with the styling of the Transformers era Camaro.
Ooh, yeah, not good.
Yeah, at the time good. Looking back, I think this aged a little better.
You can see better out of this car than a Camaro.
Well, I can fit in with my head attached.
But it doesn't transform.
It doesn't transform, that's a bummer.
If it did transform, would it be Decepticon or Autobot? Because the Camaro's an Autobot,
yeah,
right?
So Decepticon, sure.
And Autobot's a good guy, is that right?
Autobot's a good guy, Decepticon is deceptive, and the bad guy.
I think the 2010, 2011 look great. I feel like they fixed the S197 generation, finally worked out, went to the gym, and it looks good. Like it's got its haunches right, the rear looks, everything looks good on it. And then in 2012, they put silly grill things on here, grill hood scoops, and
well, hang on.
They put a few things on here that I just don't like that much, that I think look a little silly to me. Look a little J.C. Whitney to me.
Okay, fair enough, but we're going to disagree a little bit because in 2013-14, they upgraded the lighting package.
Okay, so the lighting package is better.
Right, you have better, you have HIDs and LED fog lights, LED out back with the sequential turn signals, which you hate. I actually kind of like.
It's okay, but yeah. When did that come out? 2010. That came out in 2010, though, I thought. 2010,
that's when that started.
Okay.
But this is the updated version.
Well, so 2010 of this generation is the part I like.
Is the part you like, right. But the hood scoops that you're referring to are functional, and I like them because of that.
They look ridiculous.
The spoiler's integrated quite well on here.
This has got a little lip spoiler. It looks good.
Yeah, it looks good. This particular...
Hang on just a minute.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Okay. All right. Sorry, go ahead.
A little bit of illegal right there coming out. This particular one has a Boss 302 grill, and the owner of this car has done some tasteful modifications. And we'll get into the powertrain stuff later, but as far as aesthetics are concerned, it's been lower.
Okay.
It has some SVE 19-inch wheels.
Okay, so those are not stock wheels.
Those are not stock wheels. They're very light though.
But they look good.
They look good, yeah. And then it also has the grill update, and aesthetically, that's all he's done to it. So it looks tasteful. It's not cheesy. It's not overly done. And I love the blue on this. This is called Deep Impact Blue.
Deep Impact Blue. That sounds, yeah, baby.
Which is kind of like the Sonic Blue that you had on the 03 Cobra.
Don't you love car color names?
Oh, they're great.
Like there's some ridiculous car color names out there.
Flame Yellow, Torch Red, Deep Impact Blue.
Who comes up with this stuff?
Marketing, I guess, but it's great. I'm okay with that.
Hang on, what about the audio on this?
Which one?
Whoa. That audio.
That's the best audio.
Sounds good, doesn't it? You don't need a sound system in this car.
You don't.
I love the tack layout, or the instrument panel. I like the audio. This is pre-screens in every car.
Correct. You could get nav in this car. This one does not have it.
Okay.
But you could get nav in this car.
This particular option package doesn't have it.
Correct. I'm glad he did not.
This is the option package to get, because you got all the options you want. Leather seats. But the stupid screen glaring at it, it's not there.
It's not there. It doesn't look dated.
And look, I like infotainment. I like Android Auto. I like CarPlay.
Sure. But if you can't do it well, don't do it.
Well, or
in 2014,
I still don't really.
It wasn't great.
This looks like it's. I like buttons. This has got a lot of buttons.
Yeah.
The buttons are good.
I agree.
So
it has a nice satin panel over the passenger side of the dash, which I'm sure it's a plastic of some sort, but it looks like metal.
Oh, that's not real metal?
Well, I don't know. Maybe it is. It doesn't feel like metal, but it looks deceivingly metal.
What did this car cost new?
This particular one was about $35 new, because it's a premium and track pack. The only option it didn't have was the glass roof and the navigation.
of slippery.
It's very slippery.
You don't want slippery shift knobs. That could be dangerous, guys.
You don't need lube
PSA right there. Just I don't know if we need a disclaimer, but there it is.
Just so you know.
Yeah.
The Track Pack apps are pretty fun because it has a 0 to 60 timer, which I know you love.
I do like that.
The G meter will record your best, like 100 to 0, 60 to 0, so on and so forth. And braking, same thing for acceleration, quarter mile, that kind of stuff. It's not quite as good as Dodge's performance pages.
Yeah, no, it's not. But this is pre that.
This is pre that, so it kind of started that.
Yeah, and Ford does a good job. If you drive an F-150 or any other Ford product, it works exactly the same. It's very intuitive.
Totally.
The buttons make sense.
Totally.
It's easy to use. It's actually, I mean, for what this car is, it's pretty ergonomic.
It's not bad. It's easy to live with.
I mean, I know sports cars, pony cars, muscle cars get a bad rap for not being comfortable. This is a fairly comfortable place to be.
These have the same bolstering that the 07 to 09 Shelby GT500 came with.
These are nice seats.
So these are better than the base GT seats of the previous generation.
They're leather, they're comfortable. Supportive. You don't slide in them, but they're also supportive.
Exactly.
They're really nice.
They fit a lot of body types.
Okay, now, in just about every car we've been in so far, we do mention one feature that's really important. Our favorite feature in all cars.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say it because I have gotten some feedback, and maybe I've gotten in trouble for saying it, and maybe it's insensitive.
It's okay, I'll say it. Ball chillers. This does not have ball chillers.
Does not have them, but that's okay.
It's okay. It wasn't an option then. The next generation in 2015 did come with it.
Yes.
As an option.
Now, you know another feature this has, I do want to point out real quick. The door inset.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if you've noticed, but what you have a 2005 Mustang GT.
I do.
And your door insets go like this.
They don't exist anymore.
They don't exist,
well,
so
they're
they
retired.
fall.
They're retired.
These look really nice, and they're still there.
They're still there, and they're quilted.
Now, this is Ford quality just a few years in.
Sure.
Let's see what it does in a few more years, but
yeah,
so far so good.
Let's make it 12 years old and we'll talk about its door card.
Right.
Time to switch.
Okay, time to switch. Your turn.
Second, there it goes. Third, there it goes. Okay, let's talk driving impressions.
Driving impressions. Is it fast?
It's fast. It's very fast.
Name of this engine is?
The Coyote.
Coyote. Why is it called a Coyote?
It's just the engineering code name.
Okay.
Under development.
But it also sounds good.
It sounds great.
That's a good name.
Now, the Coyote is my LS. It's my LS.
Your version of an LS.
Yes.
It's Ford's LS.
It's Ford's LS.
Okay.
I'm claiming it as mine, though, because
okay.
The LS does feel a little lazy. Now, you heard that. That was 7,800 RPM.
That sounded good.
It sounded great.
Now, this engine sounds good at all speeds to me.
At all speeds.
But maybe that's just me.
We refer to this car as Chewbacca gargling. That's what the exhaust sounds like to me.
That's what that is.
That's what that sound is.
Okay, all right. By the way, it's a little wet out right now. The roads are at the optimal slick stage.
Which is great.
Which is good and bad.
That's just good.
Okay, just good.
What he has done to this, the owner of this car, all he has done is a Boss 302 intake manifold, which effectively shifts the power curve.
Okay.
On 2 headers.
Okay.
And that is it. Well, cold air intake.
Yeah.
And just that alone is putting about 480 horsepower.
Are there any extra horsepower bonus points on this thing? So you said 420, 400 from the factory.
Yes.
Does it get any extra bonus ones? So for example, if it's red, you get at least 10 horsepower.
Oh, at least, yeah.
So bonus horsepower, I think hood scoops you get 5?
5 each, so that's 10.
So 10 extra horsepower for the hood scoops, we're giving it. Lip spoiler, 2 horsepower. Because a full spoiler, you get 5?
You get 5, but that's a stock one, so I don't think that adds power.
And then do you get extra horsepower for bigger exhaust tips?
You do.
Okay, so
another 100 horsepower there.
Another 100 horsepower. So this thing's, you're close to 600 already.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, so we're going to give it a brake check horsepower rating of 600.
Sounds good to me.
Okay, right.
It's about as usable as 600. I don't find this car is as easy to drive on the track as mine is, and it's simply down to the electric power steering system. Mine has a hydraulic setup.
When you say yours is the 2005?
2005, okay. 2006. Okay. With a 3-valve 4.6. This is a 5-liter. The engine's phenomenal in this car. The transmission I'd like to talk about for a minute because it really lets it down. I'm really sad about it because this is a hero car for me.
Yeah.
And every time I get into it, it locks me out of a gear.
What do you mean it locks you out of a gear like it?
Well,
is that this car or is that this transmission in general? Like, it's common for this transmission.
Okay, it's common for this MT82 transmission. The aftermarket does have a solution that involves a twin disc clutch, and that really solves the lockout problem. This car just doesn't have that yet.
Okay.
So don't write it off if you're considering it. Just keep in mind you
just something you have to plan on.
Correct.
And if you want it to not lock you out.
Well, and also to be fair, in factory form with without any extra power, it doesn't do that so much.
Okay, so
It's exacerbated by the...
if you start modding this car, though, you're going to need to consider that.
Just put it on your mod list. It does have Brembos, which is great.
It's good brakes.
All right, hold on. Sorry, FedEx.
Sorry, FedEx.
Sorry.
But if you're looking to sponsor it, call us.
Give us a call. Now, it does push more than mine does. And logged out right there. Couldn't even go to fourth. Ride and drive, it's a little bouncy because of the wheel and tire package.
Okay.
And inherently because it still has the solid rear axle. It does not have the independent rear suspension of the 2015 that we all know and love now.
Can we just listen to the sound all day long?
Sure.
Is that okay? I think the driving dynamics is just the sound. Okay, can we driving gas mileage? Because I know you just want to drift all day. So
I know.
This car, not everybody drifts this car. You can. Von Gittin does. A bunch of other people do. But you can also just drive this car normal.
Yes.
Like a non-maniac.
And
it's comfortable.
Yes.
And what kind of mileage will you get if you're normal?
Well, when I drive it on the highway at about 75, I get about 22 miles a gallon.
So if I drove it, I'd get about 25?
Yeah, I think it's fair.
Okay.
Absolutely.
But a maniac doing what we're doing now, you're going to get what, 10?
Probably 17.
Okay, well, that's not bad.
On a mixed drive. I mean, it's not that bad.
So what does this compete with? This competes with the Challenger, the Camaro, and this is it.
Camaro SS, not the 1LE.
Right.
Well, actually, with the track pack, I guess this is the 1LE competition. At which point, that's a tough sell.
Right.
The independent rear suspension of the Camaro is not bad.
Right. So this is the year before it has independent rear suspension.
Correct.
Right. And why do we want independent rear suspension? Why do people care about that? Most people don't know what that means.
So the reason why solid axles are more challenging is because each wheel is mechanically one piece. The axle is one piece. There's no independent motion. So if one wheel hits an undulation in the road or a bump, the other wheel is affected by it. Whereas independent rear suspension, you hit one wheel is disturbed, the other one is maintaining traction, and also ride quality is substantially better.
Okay.
So as you can see on camera, we're bouncing a lot in this car. Even before it was lowered, it was bouncing.
Yeah,
That's just kind of how it came.
So this is kind of the bounce part.
This is the bounce part, yeah.
Well, but depending on where your commute is, what kind of roads you have, that's a consideration.
Look out. Third. 75, 78. Look out. I'll give you some Brembos.
Brakes work.
God, that sounds good.
On count of three, hipster score. 1, 2, 3. 1. 4?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. Why is it a 4?
You know how plaid is cool again?
Yeah.
Yeah, hipster.
Flannel plaid. Plaid.
Flannel's
Okay,
cool.
sure.
A Mustang is a retro sports car. Pony car.
Isn't the Challenger the retro sports car?
Well, no, but this did it first.
Yeah. This did it at first. It just kept doing it.
The Challenger is always a copy.
It did this in 2005. It went back to that old.
It did this in 1964.
Oh.
If you had a 64 Mustang with plaid interior, a hipster would call it a 10.
Okay. No.
Yes.
Okay, if it had plaid interior.
So,
okay, yeah. Okay, you're right. If it had the flannel plaid, this would get a 10. Yes, you're right.
But by proxy, I'm going to be nice and give it a 4.
Listen, it's a 1. Here's why it's a 1.
Okay.
You're wrong. It's a 1. It's a 1 because it's a car and that is it. If this was anything else, it would be a 0. It's got here's what hurts it. V8.
Yep.
No fuel mileage. It's too loud. It's obnoxious. This offends hipsters. Except that it's a car, so they get 1 point.
Maybe I'm being nice.
So you're giving it 4 points though because it's retro. I gotta get that.
Just by proxy.
So 1 to 4. There you go.
Fair enough.
Okay, so now who's this car for?
This car is for Instagram. No, I'm kidding. This car is for gearheads that want a lot of fun for the money.
Yes.
And the Mustang still does that today.
Yes.
They've always been the one they've never been the exact fastest in a straight line, but they've always been a little bit lighter than its competition.
Right.
This is a little bit lighter, actually a lot lighter than the Camaro of its time, and a lot lighter than the Challenger of its time.
Mm-hmm.
So that alone gave it better handling.
Good.
But if you want to have a good time and you want a manual transmission
From China.
from China, yeah, the Wuhan transmission, and you want it to be less than, say, 40 grand. This thing does punch above its weight.
Yeah, I would say this particular model is for the gearhead.
Yes.
This is for the gearhead that still wants to drive a manual, still wants to shift, still wants to not have too many nannies overtake it, and wants to have a thrilling, raw experience.
And they're too tall for a Camaro, and this is the car for
there's
you.
that. So this is for your non-mullet wearing, throwback people wanting the muscle car experience.
Correct.
Okay, there you go. Well, thanks for watching Brake Chat. Hope you enjoyed it. And that's it.
That's it.
He can't remember anything.
I can't remember anything. Again, I'm Brian. This is Craig. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.
Subscribe for burnouts.
More burnouts.